Stop. Before you even think about hitting that pre-order button on the brand new Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, you need to hear this. The massive leaks just dropped, the mystery is officially dead, and honestly, you might want to keep your wallet closed for a little longer. Samsung is about to ask you for flagship money in 2026 for technology that feels like it's stuck in the past. We are just 2 weeks out from the big Unpacked event on February 25 in California, and the spec sheets tell a story of recycled parts, frustrating regional differences, and a charging speed that is actually embarrassing. If you are holding an older Galaxy phone, you are going to want to hear exactly what Samsung is changing, and what they are lazily keeping the same. Let's start with the base Galaxy S26 and the S26 Plus, because this is where the news gets really frustrating. Samsung is once again playing the chip lottery that we have hated for a decade. If you live in the US, you are likely safe with the powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. But for everyone else, especially in Europe and other non-priority markets, you are stuck with the Exynos 2600. History tells us these Exynos chips run hotter, drain your battery faster, and throttle under pressure. You are paying the same premium flagship price for a phone that might perform significantly worse based on where you live. It's a silicon lottery ticket that no one asked for. Even worse is the charging situation. The base S26 battery is actually bigger this year, at 4,300 mAh, which is a nice 300 mAh bump. But they are pairing that bigger battery with the same ancient 25W charging speed. In 2026, budget phones from Realme and Xiaomi can charge to full in under 20 minutes, yet Samsung expects you to wait over an hour. It is a total lack of respect for your time, and it's honestly embarrassing for a company of this size. The only real win here is that they finally killed the 128GB model. Every S26 now starts with 256GB of storage and 12GB of RAM. It took them long enough, but at least that bottleneck is gone. However, the cameras are a total copy-paste job. It's the same hardware stack we've seen before, and no amount of AI processing can hide the fact that the hardware has hit a ceiling. Now, let's talk about the S26 Plus. I have been staring at these leaked specs for hours, and I cannot figure out why this phone even exists. It is essentially an S25 Plus with a new name tag. It uses the same screen resolution, the same 4,900 mAh battery, and the exact same camera sensors as the base model. They did bump the charging to 45W, which is acceptable, but the dimensions and weight are almost identical to the predecessor. Do you know what that means? It means Samsung is reusing the same chassis tooling to save money. This isn't a phone designed for the user, it's a margin preservation device designed for shareholders. If you buy this, you are just buying last year's phone, with a tiny technical refresh to justify a higher price tag. It is the definition of stagnation. The S26 Ultra is where the real R&D budget went, but even here, I'm skeptical about a few things. The phone keeps the massive 6.9-inch screen, but the chassis is now thinner and lighter. While thinner sounds great in a marketing brochure, it makes me very nervous. Thinner phones have less mass to soak up heat. The Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 is a beast of a chip, but it pumps out massive amounts of heat. If the vapor chamber got squeezed to make the phone look sleek, we are going to see major thermal throttling during 4K video recording or heavy gaming. Mark my words, the sleek design might come at the cost of sustained performance. However, the camera system is where photographers might actually get excited. The main sensor is still 200 MP, but the aperture has widened to f/1.4. In camera optics, going from f/1.7 to f/1.4 is a massive jump in light intake. This means significantly better low-light performance, and beautiful natural background blur, without relying on fake software modes. But there is a huge trade-off: the depth of field will be razor-thin. If you are taking a photo of food or a document, parts of the image might be blurry, because the focus area is so narrow. Unless Samsung added a variable aperture, which isn't in the leaks, close-up photography might actually become harder. On a positive note, they finally updated the rest of the lenses. We are finally getting a 50MP ultra-wide and a better periscope setup. This is the quad-buyer setup we've wanted for years, allowing you to crop into wide shots without them turning into a pixelated mess. And a miracle has finally happened: 60W charging on the Ultra. It's not 100W like the competition, but 60W is a sweet spot that gives you decent speed without cooking your battery chemistry. Samsung is also pushing a new term called agentic AI. It sounds like fancy marketing fluff for a smarter version of Google Assistant. They want you to believe the phone can proactively manage your life, but unless it can literally book my dentist appointments and file my taxes, I'm going to assume it's just a smarter chatbot wrapper until proven otherwise. There is also a rumor about a new privacy display. This is a hardware layer that dims the screen if someone tries to look at it from an angle. It's an old BlackBerry trick. If it works without ruining the screen quality, when I actually want to share a video with a friend, that's cool. But if it makes the display look muddy or ruins the viewing angles for the owner, it's a feature I'll be turning off on day one. So, what is the final verdict? If you currently have an S25 Ultra, keep it. The S26 Ultra is refining the edges, but it is not reinventing the wheel. The aperture change is cool, but is it $1,400 cool? Probably not. If you are using an S22 or S23 Ultra, this is a valid upgrade path mostly for the raw power of the Snapdragon Gen 5 and the jump to 60W charging. But for the standard S26 and S26 Plus, based on these spec sheets, they are stuck in the past. 25W charging in 2026 is a deal-breaker. It says Samsung doesn't respect your time. Unless the reviews come out and prove the Exynos 2600 is some kind of miracle chip that lasts for 3 days, I would strongly suggest looking at the deep discounts on the S25 series instead. I'll be covering the launch live on February 25th to see if Samsung has any software tricks to justify this hardware stagnation. In my opinion, Samsung is playing it way too safe. They are relying on brand loyalty rather than actual innovation. The Ultra has some pro features that are nice, but the rest of the lineup feels like a lazy refresh. Don't let the shiny marketing distract you from the fact that the charging speeds and base hardware are lagging years behind the competition. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a tech update. Would you like me to analyze the leaked pricing for each region next?